Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
What is going on, everybody? I go by RB, and this is Philly Take with RB. If you're enjoying the content of the channel, be sure to smash that like button for me, hit that subscribe if you're new, and hit that notification bell so you are instantly notified whenever I upload or go live. And today, we are back with some news. According to sources, Celtics Gordon Hayward will miss approximately 4 weeks with a grade 3 right ankle sprain, and I know he was expecting a child, so he was probably expected to leave the bubble anyway, but now it is in stone that Gordon Hayward will miss the rest of this series no matter what. And I feel bad for the guy. You know, I'm a guy who likes to beat teams at full strength. I don't like to say just because there's an injury, you know, now our team has an advantage and wins. But at the same time, you know, Ben Simmons is out for this series. So, I mean, I think it kind of makes it a little bit more fair. But in terms of Gordon Hayward, I'm wishing him a well recovery. Best of luck to him and his family and everything. It's tough. Even, you know, going back a few years when he had that horrific injury, it sucks for a guy like him. You know, I know he wants to play in the playoffs, but looking at this from a larger scope now, in terms of this series, I really think, I'm not saying this is going to absolutely shift the series in the Sixers' favor, but this could definitely make a huge impact. And I think now the Sixers will have better matchups on the floor and will be able to exploit this. What I will say is that they need to exploit this. They need to take advantage. This could be the big break right here, and the Sixers need to put their foot down and keep it rolling. Now, in terms of matchups, I think that the Boston Celtics will probably end up putting another big man on the floor. I don't know if they'll put Marcus Smart because he is really their bench guy to come off and rattle some of our guys and make some noise. Maybe they go with Marcus Smart. If they do, and I'm Brett Brown, I would put in Matisse Thybulle on Jason Tatum and try to get you know, more of a speedy lineup in there, and more, and you know, we kind of match Marcus Smart with a tenacious defender of ourselves. I might go ahead and put Matisse Thybulle in anyway because of how he was able to defend Jason Tatum. There's a lot of adjustments that need to be made. But if the Celtics do what I think they will, which is put another big man in like a Williams, a Grant Williams, or a Robert Williams, maybe even an Enes Kanter. We saw the Blazers put a 2 big man lineup in with him last year. I think that the Sixers will be able to match the Celtics a lot better given our 2 big man lineup. Even though I don't like Joel and Al on the floor together, I don't think they played that well together last night. You know, we went on a 13-0 run with just Al Horford on the floor. We were dominant with just Joel on the floor, even though we didn't give him the necessary touches. We heard Brett Brown in a post-game press conference. He literally said he does not want to put Joe with 4 shooters that can space the floor. He does not think that will work for some reason. So we can probably expect to see those 2 again starting together on the floor. But yeah, I think now you can afford to put Al Horford on the second big man of the Celtics. You can still have Embiid on Tice. And even though there might not be as much spacing on the defensive end of the floor, I think it will be harder for the Celtics to create space. Now, we still need to adjust our pick and roll defense, even though we continually say this and it never happens. We still got to step up. But they're not going to have 4 athletic guards and wings anymore. They're just going to have 3 most likely. So the Sixers will be able to suffocate their shooters a bit better and be able to apply more pressure. And we'll see what happens. The Sixers got to take advantage. But I kind of touched on this with Brett Brown. I want to just talk about it for a minute here. Brett Brown's got to adjust, man. Whether it's putting Matisse in the starting lineup, whether it's making the adjustments to get guys open, it's very obvious that guys were not comfortable last night. I was watching some analysis, and Joel Embiid touched the ball 2 times in the low block in the 3rd and 4th quarter. I mean, that cannot happen after he goes 5 for 5 for 11 points. We talked about it on the post game. Shout out to everyone that came out, man. We cover every pre and post Sixers game here on YouTube on a live stream. So shout out to everyone that came out. But after he has 11 on 5 for 5 from the field in the first quarter, shoots the ball twice in the second quarter, and barely touches it in the 3rd and 4th quarter. The one play you draw up for Joel Embiid is a long 3 when we're down, 4 or 5 points with a minute or 2 to go. I mean, is that serious now? You can tell Joel was easily frustrated. He said that he has to do more. He put it on his own back in his post-game press conference. But no, Brett has to get you the touches. He's got to stick with what works. The Celtics sticked with what worked. They stuck with what worked with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, and they really finished it off for them. We heard Brett Brown's comments this morning going further on Joel Embiid's postplay. He says, I feel like when you study the tape, they bend you over, they bring pressure, and they smother him from that angle, from the wing to the post. And that is what they do. But at the same time, you can't let that fear you. You need to readjust, find outlet passes. You need to give Joel the space, but apparently Brett just does not like that, and it's going to hurt. He does not want to give Joe the ball down in the low post and have 4 shooters on the perimeter. He would rather have a guy in the dunker spot, but at the same time, that creates another man who can just sneak over and put pressure on Embiid. So I don't know what's going to happen. He says anything that's slow, anything that is static, it's easier to guard him. I understand that, Brett, but at the same time, why are we playing isolation ball? That's slow. There's no movement. Guys aren't moving around. It does not make sense. In the first 5 or 6 possessions that Embiid touched the ball, he immediately put it on the floor and got to the basket. After, as we got farther in the game and Embiid wasn't getting as many touches, he started to second guess himself. You gotta feed the big fella. You gotta create ways for him to get the ball and put it in the hole. I mean, really, we will go as far as Embiid takes us. Brett's got to be a lot better. Shake Milton also talked about the offense, and he says maybe some of the guys just didn't feel comfortable passing the ball in certain situations. I agree. We did not look comfortable, and as we have some younger guys who are not there and are not ready for the moment yet, that is the job of the coach, to find ways to make them more comfortable, get them integrated into the offense. But I agree. I'm glad that Shake Milton is speaking out and talking about this. I'm glad he has said something. And it's not even with just the passing. It's the shooting. Like I said, our guys were hesitating. They would not take it to the rack. They would not take threes. And they were just being closed out on and had no answer. It's got to be better. Tobias Harris even talked about the offense as well and really just said we were unorganized. The offense was unorganized. Again, another guy like Tobias. Tobias, it's also on you. You got to step up and be that guy to make shots. You can't have 15 points on 15 attempts. It just can't happen when you're one of our main options. There's really no identity. There's no formula. And I've been saying this for the longest. But it's got to get better. And when something is working, we got to continue to feed the hot hand. But nonetheless, I'm glad guys are speaking out. We have to see many improvements made in Game 2. And we got to keep hitting our shots, and guys got to step up. But overall, with this Gordon Hayward injury, this is the chance for the Sixers to take advantage. If they can win Game 2 and look like a solidified offense and get back into the flow of things, you know, maybe we can shift this series now. Maybe we can. Maybe if our defense steps up, we can look very impressive and put a lot of pressure on the Celtics. But if we keep doing the same old things and expecting different results, it's not going to work. Game 2 is important because if the Sixers lose and go down 2-0, well, it's not going to look very bright for this team. You guys give me all your thoughts down below in the comment section. What will the Hayward injury mean for this team? What do you want to see from the offense? Give me all your thoughts in the comment section. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.
Perfect.